Congratulations on the purchase of your Rockwood Roo. My name is Caleb. I'll be doing an orientation with you today. Attached to the email you get this video in, there will be some links to some maintenance items. I recommend you take a look at those. We'll start your orientation right up here in the front. Starting right here with your power tongue jack, you got a light switch on right here, and then you can raise and lower your jack with that switch there. If this were to fail for any reason, you can remove this rubber cap, and there will be a tool in your front compartment that you can manually crank this up or down. Behind that, you have your two 20-pound LP tanks. Your tanks do have a regulator on them. There's a little notch here that'll point to the tank you're using. So right now it's pointing towards this tank. If this tank were to go empty, just turn in the dial so it's pointing towards this tank. Behind that, you have your battery box. With your battery in it, you can put multiple batteries in there, and it shows all your wiring diagrams on there. And then you do have a light switch up here as well. We'll go over quickly how to open up your bunk ends. So they are pretty simple. You just grab your handle here. These ones are locked right now, so we'll show you later. You got your front storage compartment right here. This goes through all the way to the other side. You have your 30-amp power cord. Right down here you have one of your 4 stabilizer jacks. There are stabilizers on all 4 corners. They're used for stabilization only, not for leveling. So you'll level your trailer out with your tongue jack, and then you'll run your stabilizers down to help keep your trailer from rocking around. Underneath your slide out, you have one of your 2 gray tanks. So that gray tank has a separate port, or a separate drain port right there. So it's just one handle, so when you're ready to drain it, just hook your sewer hose up for your gray tank. Once your gray tank's empty, close it up, you're all set there. And then in the back here, you have your second gray tank and your black tank. So when you're ready to drain your tanks, hook your hose up, pull your black tank handle first. When your black tank is empty, you'll pull your gray tank. That gray dirty singing shower water is going to help rinse the toilet water out of your hose. Once your gray tank is empty, you'll close that slide valve, leave your black tank open. You'll come around to the back where you have a black tank flush. You'll hook a hose up to it. You'll turn the water on here and run it for a couple minutes. It works as an upside down sprinkler system in your black tank and will help flush everything out. So yeah, you'll run it for a couple minutes, turn your water off here, unhook your hose. Then you'll go back over there, close your slide valve, and then you can take your hose off and you're all set. You have an outdoor shower right here. It's just hot and cold water with the shower head that'll pull out of there. You have your 30-amp power hook up here on the back. I do recommend when you're hooked up at a campground that you use a 30-amp surge guard to help protect your trailer from any possible power surges that may occur. You have your spare tire with the cover right here. Your spare tire is the same size as all your other tires. You are pre-wired for a backup or observation camera, so that's where that would go if you were to buy one. You have a little bit of storage back here as well. You can also access the back side of your water panel. And then we'll go over the rest of your water panel now. So up here at the top on both sides, you got hookups for cable and satellite. So if you're staying at a campground that has cable hookup, or if you have a portable satellite dish, that's where you hook those up at. You have your city water connection right here. So if you're full hookup camping, hook a hose up to that, turn it on, and you'll have water pressure throughout that hose, or through that hose to your trailer. And then you have your antifreeze inlet right here. So if you're going to winterize your trailer, you'll hook a hose up to here. The other end will go into your antifreeze. You'll have to turn a valve on the back side, and then you'll turn your water pump on, and that'll draw that antifreeze up throughout your trailer, and then you'll be able to winterize each faucet. In the back here, you got some outlets as well as an output for a TV. So if you want to have a TV out here, you can hook it up. There's a mount for it there. You have this rail here so you can put a countertop extension or a grill out here, and then there's a LP quick connect down here to hook your grill up at. You have outdoor speakers on both sides of your door. And then you do have solid steps on here as well. These are strut assisted, so they lift up nice and easy. With these though, you do want to be sure that your door is all the way open. Otherwise this will hit on your screen door and it could damage it. These are just set up right inside your door. This strut will hold it up in there. If you need to adjust your legs to extend them, just pull on them. To retract them, push this down, and the legs will fall back down in there. They just pull out nice and easy to set them up. When you first take them out or adjust the legs, you want to be sure to close your door very slowly. There needs to be a gap between the top of your stairs and the bottom of your door. If there's not a gap there, your door will catch on your stairs and it'll bend your door frame. You have a little latch here for your door as well, which will go in right there, so you can keep it open, keep it from moving around if it's windy. You got your refrigerator vent. You don't really have to do much with that. You got this vent for above your stovetop here. So if you're using that vent inside, just pop this open so it can vent the air outside. If you're not using it, just snap it shut so that no bugs or anything can get inside there. Right down here you have 2 low point drains. That's going to be hot and cold lines. Those are used mainly for winterizing. You open them up, it'll drain the water out of your water system. You have your furnace exhaust fan right here. This does get very hot when you're running your furnace, so you want to be sure you don't block it or touch it because it could burn you or melt something. Then you have your freshwater fill right here. So if you're rustic camping and you want to fill your fresh tank, you'll put a hose here, turn it on, it'll fill your fresh tank. And then you'll turn your water pump on to draw the water from your tank throughout your trailer. If you need to drain it, the drain is located right down here below. Just pull that white handle and it'll drain everything out. Next you have your hot water heater. Your hot water heater has a metal tank, so you use an anode rod. So over time this anode rod will corrode rather than your tank corroding, so you'll have to replace this every couple of years. This is also your plug, so you put it in here, tighten it down, and then you can take your water heater off bypass and turn your water on. You want to be sure that your tank is filled on here before you turn it on, gas or electric. So you can just pull on your leaf valve here, water will come out, or you can open up the hot side of one of your sinks inside, and once water starts continuously flowing through there, you're all set to turn it on. There is a switch down here to turn the electric portion on, and then inside on your control panel there will be a switch for the gas portion. You can run them individually or you can run them at the same time. It's a little more efficient to run at the same time. When you're all done with it, ready to drain it, just take your anode rod out. Your water will drain out right from here. Everything on here is electronic ignite, so as long as your propane's on, it'll light right up on gas. Same thing for electric. As long as you're plugged in or have a battery hookup, you should be good. And then you got the other side of your passenger storage here. You have your starter kit here in this brown bag, and then you got some tools and attachments there as well. And then lastly, you have a spot for a portable solar panel. So if you had one, hook it up here, it'll trickle charge your battery. That is everything for the outside of your trailer. We'll go over your bunks in a second. So yeah. Alright, so we got your bunk ends unlocked now. So all you have to do to open them up, pull on this little handle. That'll undo the lock there at the top. We'll do it on both sides. And then you can pull your bunk end down. And it'll lay down just like that. That's all you have to do on the outside. All the rest of the work will be done inside. Alright, so up here you'll have this pole here that'll connect to your main hoop in here. It just goes in this little bracket. You'll put it in there. And then just slide this up, and then it'll latch up here on the top, right on this little bracket system here. So that's how you set your bunk ends up. It'll be the same up there in the back as well. It's pretty simple. Helps when the canvas isn't so cold because it's really stiff right now. But now we'll go over your control panel right up here by your door. Starting here on the side, you can check the levels of your battery, your fresh, your black, and your 2 gray tanks. Just push the button. As they charge or as they fill, these will light up. Then you have switches for your water heater, so you can turn it on gas or electric from here. To run it on electric, you do have to have that switch on outside. You can keep that switch on at all times if you want, as long as both of these switches inside are off. Then you have the switch for your water pump, so if you have your freshwater tank filled, turn your water pump on from in here. And you do have a tank heater on here as well, so if you're late season camping, you don't want your fresh tank to freeze, turn that on. It's a heating pad on your tank, it'll keep it above freezing temperature. Right here you have the switch for your slide out, so just hold down in to run it in, hold down out to run it out. When you hear that clicking noise, that means it's all the way out. It'll make that same noise when it goes in, so that's when you know to stop. And then you have the switch for your awning. Same thing, hold down extend to extend it, hold down retract to retract it. Your awning will not stop automatically though, so you do need to keep an eye on it. There will be a valance that drops down, some extra fabric. You'll also be able to see the bare awning tube. So that's when you take your finger off the button. If you don't take your finger off the button when you see that, your awning will continue to roll itself up, and it'll roll itself up upside down and stretch out your awning fabric, and it could rip it or tear it. And then below that you got light switches. So you got your interior lights, porch light, awning light, and a step light. And then you have a Wi-Fi booster on here as well, so just turn that on if you want to get a stronger Wi-Fi signal in your camper. We'll head up into your kitchen now. Starting with your refrigerator, it's a gas electric refrigerator, your controls for it are right up here at the top, and you do have instructions on how to start and turn it off as well. But it's pretty simple. Just turn it on. With the button pushed in here, it will be on auto. When it's on auto, it'll automatically run off of electric if you're plugged in. If you're not plugged in, it'll switch over to gas by itself. Just be sure that your propane is turned on. Otherwise, if you want to run it off of just gas, push the button in. And now it's running off of gas only. Like I said before, be sure your propane's turned on. If this check light comes on, that means that it's not getting propane, which usually means your tanks are empty or they're not turned on. Below your refrigerator, you have your breakers and your fuses. Everything in here is labeled. If a fuse were to go out, there will be an LED that lights up next to it so you can easily identify which one it is. You have a standard turntable microwave. You got a light and a fan above your stovetop. Then you have this glass cover on your stove. Just fold it up and out of the way when you're ready to use it. To light your stove, you'll turn your burner to high. Turn your igniter to the right. Your igniter will turn to the right only. Does not turn to the left. That could break it. But yeah, you'll just turn it until your burners ignite, and then you'll adjust your temperature as needed. And then to light your oven, you'll turn this to the pilot light. Hold this down while you turn your igniter until your pilot light is lit. Then you can adjust your temperature from there. You do also have a light switch on here. This will do these lights here. Turn to the bottom, it'll do an oven light. Be sure that you close this cover for travel. It is glass, so it could break. You got your sink. Your keys will be on your sink when you come to pick up. Right like that. You do have some push button lights here as well. There's just a little button in the center. You'll push to turn it on and off. It'll go be the same for all your lights in here. You got your front bunk, obviously. Up above in your kitchen, you got a max air fan. So turn your fan on. You got your fans. You got fan on, and you got different speeds. And then you can turn it off. Then to open it, just crank it open and close with this. You can lock your dial here in place. Just push it up, and now I can't turn that. Just be sure that you close that if it's gonna rain or if you're going down the road. Next, you have your booth here. You do have a freestanding table. That's why it's in this position like it is now. That's the recommended way for it to travel, so that it's not sliding around and moving around when you're going down the road. But the legs on there will just fold up, so you can stand the table up. Otherwise, if you have it like this, you can use it as a bed. Just take your extra cushions on the back here, and you'll fill in the gap, so you have a nice extra bed. You have your theater seats here. Just got a grab handle on the side. You'll pull it out, swing your legs out. Otherwise, you got some extra controls on here as well. You have your entertainment center right here. On the back side of your TV, you have your antenna booster. So if this green light's on here, you'll be able to get local channels. If you're hooked up to cable or satellite, just push the button next to it, turn that light off, and you'll be able to get your channels on cable or satellite. Your bracket does lock up in place there. There's a little latch that it goes into. Next, you have your radio, so you can control your speaker zones from here. So you got speaker zone 1 and 2. 1 will be your indoor speakers, 2 will be your outdoor speakers. You can also pair your phone with this through Bluetooth, and then hook up HDMI or a USB to it as well. And then down below you have your fireplace. It's a nice little electric space heater. All your controls are down here at the bottom. So you got power, you can change your colors and brightness, and then you can set your temperature. Everything will show up on this screen up here in the top right. This puts out a good amount of heat, but like I said, it is electric only, so you do have to be plugged in for it to work. We'll head into your bathroom now, starting with your toilet. So foot pedal flush, halfway down brings water into it, all the way down will flush into your black tank. You have your light switch just inside your door. Another one of those fans works the same as the one in your kitchen. On your shower, you have magnetic strips on both sides of your door, so that when you close them you get a nice good seal. And you do have this travel lock on here as well. Be sure that that's in place when you're going down the road. And then you got a GFCI resettable outlet down here. Lastly, back here you got your thermostat, so you can control your heat. You can go to fan and AC. And then you can control your fan speeds here, and you'll adjust your temperature with the slider. And below that, you have your carbon monoxide and LP detector. As long as that green light's on, that means it's working, you're good to go. Then you have your back bunk end, which will work the same as your front bunk end. So that's everything for the inside of your trailer. I want to thank you for purchasing at TerryTown. We appreciate your business, and congratulations.